Hello, this is Wmpyr back again with another voiceover video. And yeah, let's get right to it. This is my Twitter, and you can see in the photo there's three photos: the left and the right, and then the one in the bottom. The top left is where I was doing the Heaven 6, basically a blender. And yeah, one of the things about that is you can do the Heaven 6, which is a sideways figure eight pattern, right? Everybody knows that. But you could do it in a very straight manner. And when you do that, then it becomes relevant to full contact fighting, empty hands such as boxing and kickboxing and MMA. Um, and so I recently put up a video on doing people were calling it the punching Heaven 6. So there you go, and that's essentially what I was doing, but with a knife. I know you can't see it because the video. It's not that I'm that fast. It's that the video camera I'm using is not that good, but. I'm holding a knife there. I'm holding one of Professor Bram Frank's knives, the LLC fixed blade Bowie knife is what I'm holding, and I'm doing the blender at it, and um, it's fast. It's a rapid fire combo attack. So that's what I'm doing there on the left side. On the right side, I'm doing your typical slash. Now, did I go as hard as I can? No, but I definitely put in some solid force in there. And then on the bottom, I should have flipped the picture, but I just presented it as so. It just happens to be um, the left side is the normal slash, and on the right side is the blender attacks. I was like, man, because the photo up here, I wish I had done it to where the blender's on the left side, and then on the target you could actually see what it did on the left side, and then the slash is on the right side. So anyway, I hope you guys will forgive me for that. um, but yeah, the long diagonal cut that you see, that's from the regular slash. And then the bunch of tiny peck mark looking things, that's from the blender. And yeah, I wanted to show this to you guys. This is easy. Anyone can do this. I'm not recommending you guys because I don't want a lawsuit. Definitely, I've been doing this for 3 decades. I am an instructor, so you want to have proper instruction. And safety has to be first. Notice I have my glasses on for eye protection, and like I said, I have uh, tons of training. I didn't just go to Amazon, buy a knife, and then decided to copy something I saw on the internet. Of course, that is the wrong way to do that. Please don't copy, right? That's a great way to get hurt. But anyway, I just put a cardboard, how do you call it? A piece of cardboard, uh, and held it up with the door, and then I trust my techniques. I've done enough practice to where I know I'm not going to hurt the door because the door's right next to me, and I knew I wasn't going to hurt myself. When you do a blender, you could easily chop up your arms, and yeah, I was fine. So anyway, um, this photo is pretty much a response to, let me show you guys right here, scroll down to this. This is my own thing that I posted on Twitter as well, and you guys saw it on YouTube maybe. Um, so the left side is what they are doing. That's the blender. No, sorry, the right side. The military guys. The military guys, what they're doing is the blender, okay? And then what you're seeing on the left, the Filipino student and instructor there on the left side, what they're doing is they're also doing slash and stabs, but you can see it is your slash right there. And I put in a little bit more force than what they're doing there to do the slash that you see here. And then the blender, I try to go about as fast as I could, like those military guys, and you can see the blender there. And So I hope you can see there's a lot of things to me that you guys can take out of this. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, probably infinite amount, but I think it's always important in the martial arts is to critique yourself, and see, how much can you learn from it. And, you sometimes years later, you come back and you keep learning. So anyway, right here, um, one of my first points, my main points was that when you watch these two videos, of course, the military guys look awesome. I mean, their location, the way it's filmed, the way they're dressed, the speed. I mean, of course, it looks so cool. I'll be the first to admit it, But I think people get the impression like, oh, these are military guys. They're badass, which they are, but it's not because of what they're doing. But we get the impression that their knife work right there, that's devastating. They'll kill people in an instant. But the reality is, what you're seeing here is, look, when you do a blender, the cuts are small. Okay, so I just wanted to go against probably a common perception, and it's an incorrect perception. You have to know what it is that you're doing, right? So you would think that what these guys are doing, or what I was doing on the left side, the blender, would be devastating on the cardboard. Okay, and I've done it on a cardboard box, in the garage, and I was training, and I basically destroyed the cardboard box to bits. I mean, it was literally becoming not only a huge hole broke, but I mean, I was shredding it. I was literally becoming a human shredder, and I was shredding it up using the blender. But it took a while. It took a long while, and that was with the cardboard box not moving. Like I made it stationary. The cardboard box could move. So in a way, not the cardboard box, but the piece of cardboard could move. It's just a flappy thing there. So in a way, that kind of makes it a little bit more realistic because people are going to move. And anyway, so just, what you see here on the right side, the military guys, what they're doing, I mean, it looks like it would just completely poke a bunch of holes in a person, blood everywhere, it would slaughter them. But no, that is not what that is designed for. And I'm not saying that the technique is bad, because the blender is an actual technique. And not only do I practice it, as you can see, I'm using it here. I know how to do it. Not only is the blender an actual technique, I teach it. I think it is very useful, but it just comes down to it's one just another tool in the toolbox. And what I did, my is this my second point? You have to know your tools in your toolbox. You got to get to know them. You got to uh, how do you say? You want experience with them. You have to really understand your tools in order to use them well. In order to succeed with your tools, you got to really understand them. So the people that saw this and thought, oh, the military ones, these guys, what they're doing is the best, and what these guys on the left, these Filipino guys, what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. You want to do what the military guys are doing, which is wrong. It's two different tools. The guys on the left side, they're defending against, it might be slower, which it is, because you have to go pretty much one at a time. If you're going to slash properly, look at this. Yes, you could slash in combos, you definitely can. And but when you start emphasizing more on the combos, then the slash, your power becomes weaker and the speed goes up. So it is a balance between speed and power, right? It's difficult to have both. Now there are some athletes and human beings that could do both, but and before you go, I'm gonna be that guy, before you get greedy, okay, understand that it's good to start one or the other, and then work on it and try to improve your quality. But it's one or the other. Okay, so right here to me is a classic depiction of power versus speed. And you can see, in the Filipino martial arts, the first thing they're worried about is not so much speed. They're worried about power. They're worried about damage, which makes sense, right? I mean, which cut are you more afraid of? Yes, the blender is going to look scarier for sure, but look at the cardboard. Which one would you rather take? I think it's obvious, And then when you're wearing jacket and you're able to move around, it's these pokes are going to be even less of a poke. I'm not saying it's not gonna not deadly, but it's not gonna hurt. I mean, it obviously can cause plenty of damage and depends on where. But just once again, look at this cardboard box. So like I said, lots of lessons. If we take a look at, like, let's say boxing, right? The slash, which is on the top right side that I'm about to do, that slash, we can call it more like a uppercut or a left hook in boxing. It is the KO shot, right? And then the blender right here on the top left side, you can see that's a rapid fire combo attack. So this is more like the jab. And boxers train in both. They train in your speed attacks to open you up, and they usually start off with that. They don't start off with huge bombs, right? That's more like people that are amateurs. When you get amateurs fight, people that are not as seasoned, not as disciplined, not as experienced, they're gonna throw big old bombs. You see that in the old tough man contest, right? You can see that. Backyard fights, street brawls. You see people throwing big old haymakers, But then you see a professional. A professional is disciplined. The professional saves their good move, their powerful move for the right time. They don't just give it up so easily. It's almost like they hide it until the right time, and then boom, you don't know what hit you. So, you need both, right? You need both. One isn't better than the other. They're two different tools, but I'm trying to go against popular perception, which is, one is better than the other, which I never liked that way of thinking. And then the other is, once you know, okay, these are two different tools, then how do you place it? How do you put it together? And so I hope I gave some insight by giving you guys the boxing example, right? Which is, you start off with the smaller, faster movements, and then when you see the opportunity, you go for the bigger, you go for the kill kind of thing. So hopefully you don't kill anyone. Let's change that word to the finish, the fight ender. You want to end the fight, and hopefully not fatally. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.